With all the news for patch 10.1 and the Diablo 4 beta flying around, patch 10.0.7 has been kind of swept under the rug. But it's still coming, and in fact, patch 10.0.7 is coming out Tuesday, March 21st. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything that's coming with the patch, so that way you guys are ready and know what to expect. But before we begin, be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or if you're just enjoying the content. So with that being said, let's get started. To anyone who's leveled an Invoker, you spend a lot of time on the Forbidden Reach, but with patch 10.0.7, we're going back, and this zone has been turned into a max level zone where you're going to be able to do new quests, farm rep, a new faction, kill rares, collect treasures, and of course do the new hot item for this patch, the Zakera Vault. The Zakera Vault is a new solo dungeon where players enter a randomized treasure room where you must solve puzzles, kill monsters, and collect loot. However, to travel deeper into this vault, you need to collect keys to unlock doors, and these keys can be collected by killing rares around the Forbidden Reach and collecting treasures in the area. So you must be wondering what's so special about the vault. Well, it's where we're going to be getting these new items called the Primordial Stones. Early on, you'll be collecting a ring called the Onyx Amulet, which is going to give you the ability to socket these primordial stones into it. There are many different types of primordial stones, and each of them have some pretty unique abilities on them. For example, the Humming Arcane Stone reads like this: dealing magic damage has a chance to fire arcane missiles for each primordial stone family you have equipped, each dealing arcane damage. So it looks to me like finding the right combination of stones to socket into your ring is going to play a huge part of this new system. Another activity to do while on the Forbidden Reach is going to be these new Megastorms. They're similar to the Primal Storms on the Dragon Isles, but these ones are going to be on the Forbidden Reach, and they're going to provide players with upgraded storm gear, as well as giving them elemental overflow, which can be used to exchange gear with Mort or Mithra in Valdrakken. Monk players can rejoice as now that there's more races for them to play as. Blizzard just extended the family of monks to the Lightforged Draenei, Worgen, and Goblin races, which is great. I'm always happy to see that Blizzard allows more races to play certain classes, at least to an extent. I wouldn't want to see everyone being able to play as a demon hunter, for example. Hopefully at some point we can finally get to see human shamans or druids. There's a new faction in town. The Winterpelt Furblogs are a new faction in Dragonflight, which players can work on. It seems like a pretty interesting faction to work on, considering that when you start it, you actually don't understand their language, so as you gain more rep with their faction, you'll actually slowly start to understand them. So it sounds like a pretty new fun activity to participate in. Blizzard seems to have finally done Bane some justice since they left him sitting on the floor of the entirety of Shadowlands, as he's getting his own dedicated questline. The questline takes place with Bane searching for an old friend who's gone missing. In this questline, players will help him solve a mystery, and I won't give away any spoilers here, but the questline shows just how much of a badass Bane really is. Blizzard's adding a new feature which is going to help players gain rep a little bit easier. Each day, you'll be able to go to one of the factions and speak with an envoy there, which is going to grant you 10% increased rep for that faction each day. They're also going to be occasionally giving you quests for extra rep and elemental overflow that can be used for some new unique dragon riding customization options. If you know me, you know I'm still on the fence with these, but we're getting Orc and Human Heritage armor finally. I personally don't like the look of either of these, but it's what we got now. So basically there's going to be two new quest lines, one for orcs and one for humans, that you guys can start at level 50 or higher. And you also need to either be exalted with Orgrimmar or Stormwind. So you just do the quest line and then you'll be able to get these new outfits for your characters. Those of you who have a ton of money or friends might be excited to see that Blizzard has added new rewards for the Recruit a Friend system for World of Warcraft. Now it looks like we get a pretty cool looking Goblin Shredder mount, and a pretty neat looking outfit to go with it. Personally, I think the outfit is kind of lacking, however, I do think the helmet looks really cool. Speaking of orcs and humans, both races are getting some new hair colors. Lots of bright neon colored hair, which is going to be perfect for matching with some of your really brightly colored transmogs. And me personally, I'm always for new customization stuff. I just wish that we'd get some new hairstyles. There is a ton of class balancing going on for this patch that is surely going to shake up the meta going forward. And I'm not going to be reading over all the class changes because this video would be 20 minutes long, so I'm just going to go over some of the really big changes. This is the patch that we're getting that massive Ret Paladin spec rework. So with that, I'm going to read the developer's note for Ret. Retribution Paladins have received a substantial rework in patch 10.0.7. We've rebuilt the Retribution talent tree from the ground up so that there's a large amount of changes to the talent tree, abilities, survivability, and maneuverability. As a part of this, we've tried to provide a broad set of talents that allow you to heavily invest in abilities that you personally enjoy, so you guys can customize how you want to play and change your talents to meet the demand of different types of content you want to engage in. We're excited to see how this plays out, and we hope you enjoy the new take on Retribution Paladins. The goal for the rework has been as follows. Buttons. Ret Paladins have a fairly large number of abilities, some of which we believe felt unnecessary and inefficient. We've worked to tone this down and have tried to provide Ret Paladins with a more focused set of abilities and cooldowns. Stacking modifiers. There were several talents and abilities that provided a small stacking bonus, which we believed made for a confusing and unpredictable playstyle. This led to periods of extreme burst damage that in return would leave your core abilities feeling unsatisfying and undertuned. We've significantly changed this and hope that your core abilities feel good and are powerful when used in all situations. This doesn't mean that we've reduced all the elements of burst damage, but we hope that we've provided more purposeful and deliberate periods of burst damage, while also allowing abilities and options to provide excellent sustained damage. Survivability. Ret Paladins have had one of the highest death rates across various forms of content. For a plate-wearing class with hybrid healing, this hasn't felt right. We've strengthened Retribution Paladins significantly through a mixture of passive bonuses and improvements to active abilities and cooldowns that should help them feel more survivable. Maneuverability. We recognize that there has been an issue, and we've made some improvements to allow Ret Paladins to be more mobile. We've also made some changes to allow Ret Paladins to engage in combat more effectively from a distance that we help feel to compensate for the lack of mobility compared to other classes. And then in the notes that they kind of show off all the talent changes and stuff for Ret. But either way, I think Ret's going to be awesome, and I'm really happy that Ret Paladin mains finally have gotten some love. And on to Dragon Riding. So the Forbidden Reach is now offering new Dragon Riding glyphs to unlock, 2 new Dragon Riding traits. The first one's called Aerial Halt, which is going to allow you to flat back and reduced forward movement, and Airborne Recovery, which generates 1 vigor when you activate Aerial Halt, while affected by Thrill of the Skies. Additionally, there are 16 new customization manuscripts available, and 6 new Dragon Riding races to participate in. The World Quests for Dragon Riding races have added a new icon, and the Dragon Riding trails can now be refunded by right-clicking them without requiring confirmation. And now some PvP changes. So there's going to be some more harsher penalties for leavers in Solo Shuffle. The way this is going to work is the duration of the no-show leaver penalty is now being increased if any character on your account leaves a game. And now you can also queue for Solo Shuffle while being queued for other rated PvP modes or Group Finder. We're also going to be getting some changes to professions. There's nothing super huge here, but there's quite a few UI changes and a couple of tweaks. So the UI for your profession menu is going to look a little different, but I think it's going to look pretty nice. And that's going to do it for this video. Patch 10.0.7 comes out March 21st, which is next Tuesday, so hopefully you guys are ready and prepared. Let me know in the comments section which of these changes you guys are most excited for. Me personally, I think it's Ret, even though I actually don't play one. Thanks so much for checking out my content, and with that, I'll see you guys later.